Morning, got the coffee pot warming up. Birds ain't singing, but my Instagram blowing up. And I don't even like social media. But if I wasn't on it, then you probably wouldn't see me. So, hey, it's Mr. Pine Cone, posting on the interwebs with my cell phone. Hoping that I get
What's going on, believers? Guys, we have one of those mornings. The market is totally in the red. It's looking brutal. It's looking bloody. And guess what? If you did what I said do, and what I told you to do was tether. If you tethered, then you're feeling really great today. You're feeling like you're in a good place because you listened, you paid attention, you learned, and we are all getting paid. Crypto is a tough game. We're down to, I think, at last count, Ethereum was trading right about 3,000, which is a very nervous sort of number. So it's a little concerning, but it's not bad. So let's go take a look and let's see what is going on in the market. Let's get some price action. We'll see where we are. Might even be a little bit of positive movement. Let's get a check over here. When I pulled this up a little bit ago, we were looking at CoinViewCap. CoinViewCap shows Bitcoin trading at 41,070 right now. That's up on the last hour, but it's down 3% in the last day. Ethereum is at 3,046. It's up 0.31 in the last hour, but it's down 5.84% to the previous 24 hours, which is not a great sign. But if you did like I said, if we all got this together and we did it and we tethered at the same time, then guess what? We're in good shape because we made a good decision and we made sure that we didn't lose any money. I tethered around 3,400, so I'm feeling pretty good about it. I pulled back out around 32 for a little while, but then it didn't seem like anything was happening, so I lost $100 coming in and out because I was just going to test the waters and then move back into stable. So I'm feeling pretty good to have been at 34 when I pulled out. Didn't lose any money on that move that I had because I just felt like the market was not going to do what I wanted it to do. I don't think that we're going to get sent at any time. Maybe. It seems to be. Polygon is up 1% almost right now. So, maybe we'll see a little price action. Maybe we'll get a little something out of it. Yeah, smash that like button. Let's see if we can get some people in here, have a real quick conversation, and see what's going on. There we go. Smash the like button. Evidence suggests it makes you more attractive to people. Now let's move on and let's take a quick look or a quicker look at what's going on in the DeFi space. Terra's at 2542, down another 9.4%. You can see this cascade. This cascade doesn't have much to do with this market. This cascade is just a lack of support. If you remember here, it was on kind of a move. The big support line comes right here at around 2,200. So it's not even touching support lines because it had these big moves right here and it held up pretty well, but it has to catch some support and it has to have something to bounce off of. So we're just kind of sitting here waiting, and we're all kind of hoping that it creates its own new lines of support. But for example, right now we got a support line here at 2,700, not huge, but it is one, and you can see it over here as it manifested itself right here. So we have a little line of support, but that's going to be resistance back on the way up. Same thing at around 3,000, 3,600. So, but there's not a lot of investors. There's less than 10,000. We're getting close to 10,000. So it shouldn't be too difficult to bust through those support lines and get this thing going back in the right direction. We're going to need some good market conditions first, and second, we're going to need some good information coming out, and then we should be moving in the right direction. Now, if you've been sleeping under a rock, then here you go. Saitama is falling off of a cliff right now, and it's not Cliff Fettner, by the way. It's falling off a cliff, and it's at 66.65. Now, these sell downs here have taken it down below 6. So you can see here that there is a disaster that has developed in the last little while concerning Saitama. It's not looking very good. It's been quite a pain and quite a struggle for the Saitama people. Every time it comes down here, though, you can see here that it's getting pumped back up, but it was doing the same thing here before it fell off this cliff. So I said last night, you know, if you put 10 grand in at the bottom of one of these wicks and it pumps up, then you have an opportunity to make a little bit of money. But you also, if you had done that and you were waiting for it to happen over here and didn't pull out, then you just got wrecked. So I don't want you to get wrecked. If you see something like this happen, play the bottom of the candle and you can maybe make a little bit of money. Right here, it went to 6,000 and then it pumped back up in the next hour to 6,900. So you could have made about $1,000 off of a big stack of cash. So opportunity exists for you to make money. You just have to play it right and don't get wrecked, because this one is incredibly dangerous. The safe apes over the evening, same thing happened over here. Just kind of fell off a cliff. Now the good part for the safe apes is that for it to fall off a cliff, so to speak, it doesn't really take that much because it's not a high market cap. So, you know, a couple of good buys and this thing is back to mooning again. Excuse me, and moving way back up this chart to 68 or 70 or wherever it is that they were a couple days ago. WAGMI, the same thing. Today, or not today, sometime this week, we're going to see the beta release. And when we see the beta release, we'll be able to get in and play. If you're a Genesis NFT holder, then you're going to be able to be part of the beta, and it should be fun. And if you're not, then you're still going to get videos. You're still going to get people playing. You're still going to see it. So it's going to be an exciting time. But again, it's affected by the market. Shift is the same thing. It's just affected by the market. Everything is just getting a little bit of bear pressure right now. People are pulling their money out. Some people don't consider this to be a safe an investment. On and on down the line. Shiba Doge has just a litany of great things that are about to happen to it, and it can't even maintain right now with this big sell down happening. There's big news coming on Wednesday. There's even bigger news coming a couple days later. Like there's just a buildup of stuff happening with Shiba Doge that's going to send this thing on a rocket ride. But right now, the market is just crushing everything. CBC, because it's new, because it doesn't have a whole lot of holders, has an opportunity, and it is using that opportunity to kind of consolidate a little bit. You can see a little red, but it's still just kind of pushing down. Same thing for Phoenix version 2. It doesn't have a lot of holders, so it's very easy for it to kind of maintain. Got a little, it had a dip, then it pushed back up a little bit. So all around. Volt, guys, I don't know what to tell you about Volt. Volt is on another level. It's been just moving and moving and moving and moving since the announcement of version 2. Version 2 is going to reduce the supply by a factor of 1 billion. So you're going to have less tokens in circulation than there are for SHIB. So if it does what SHIB does, or even close to what SHIB does, it's going to knock down enough zeros that it has a better chance of hitting a penny at this point than SHIB would, because it's going to burn more tokens as well. So Volt, and I'm not comparing the two, by the way. I'm just saying that as things go, on April 16, SHIB was launched. On April 16, Volt version 2 is going to be launched. On April 16th, that's when the Apollo 16 was launched. I mean, there's a whole lot of similarity there. So take it for what you will. But the big mover and shaker for the day was the announcement last night from the Banana Task Force Apes. And we're going to go over here and check out. By the way, they were listed on Hotbit. They got listed on LBank. They got listed on Hotbit. All of this stuff happened overnight. Well, not overnight, but it happened in the last couple of days. Trading is opened up on LBank. Bitmart will be April 15th. April 15. So all these things are just continuing to move, continuing to push this thing up. So like that's the big dog in the yard right now. They had a big move here. If you see this last night, a couple hours ago, to 1773. That's the new all-time high. It just continues. Banana Task Force 8. These guys have been great. They know exactly what's going on. Now, you see this red candle right here. Some of that's going to be profit-taking, but it's also going to be that this market is just tired, and we'll see what happens. If people can't see that Saitama is a scam by now, you're just dumb. You know what? if you would call a $300 million, it still has a $300 million market cap. So it's not really a scam. So I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you can not like it because they haven't delivered and they haven't done stuff. And you can be convinced that there are certain things that are happening, but a scam, it's not a scam. It's just run very poorly. That's all. Are you planning on buying more WAGMI NFTs? So I have 3 so far, and I'm not sure how much their inherent value is. So I don't know that I am or am not going to buy any more NFTs, especially not Genesis NFTs. But as a founder, I have 3 separate boxes of loot NFTs that I get every single month. And I'm not sure I'm going to continue buying them as I need them in order to play the game, but I'm not sure how many I'm going to need yet. I'm going to need to get into this beta and start to see like how fast do I burn through all of my stuff. So the answer is, yeah, probably going to be buying more. And if they come out with some elites again, I'm going to be buying the elites again. I'm also going to be renting out my elites to other people. So I'm definitely going to be involved in WAGMI. I'm going to be in there for a while. I'm doing very good, Albert. I hope you're having a good morning. Yeah, you know what? If you have a big load of money, you can still make some money off of Saitama by playing dips, but that's about it right now. Excellent play. Yeah, you know what? I don't know if it's gonna it's a long way off for it to hit a penny, and I don't think that a penny moves the needle. Like for me, it doesn't mean anything because it's not really like a thing. It's just like a penny is just like a kind of a virtue signal, I guess. You know what? I hate that light. It's kind of it's just a signal at this point of something happening for a token that it's kind of a rallying cry. What we need to see is, let me pop this back up real quick. When you look at any token, then what you are looking at, especially Volt here. So we're going to drop 9 zeros off of this. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is going to leave 6 zeros, 34.53. So 6 zeros, 34.53. All you need in order to hit 1000x is to drop this zero, this zero, and this zero, and you would still have this to go. So the burn mechanism is what's going to get it to a penny over time. And their Volt is very big on continuing to burn the supply and continuing to keep burning the supply. So yeah, you know what? If they're profiting off of investors, then it is entirely possible that you can call it a scam. But here's the thing. The people that made Saitama are basically no longer with it. Like V is one of the originals, and she's not part of the team anymore. So yes, you don't want to see. I mean, why is Russ not entitled to profit? Like that's what I don't understand. Like I would want an investor to hold on, but I don't need that investor to be Russ. I don't need that. I don't need those investors to be the developers. I need the developers to have just a little bit of a bag so that they have a vested interest in it. But like at the end of the day, if you go look at CVC, Keith doesn't even have any tokens at all. Keith is the owner and developer of the project, and he has 0 tokens. He just pays himself a salary to work on the token and to work on the website and create new content for that website. So he doesn't even need to be involved in the token price action. So I don't understand why people feel the need for the developers to be invested and then never sell. Like why on earth would a developer not be allowed to get rich or make money? It just seems like nonsense to me. That's just my opinion. By the way, you can have a different opinion and we can disagree on it because I'm always right. it's just going to make you wrong. You know what I mean? Shinja Shinobi is the life. You know what? I'd like to see some price action from Shinja. It's been a struggle. It's been for a little while since we've really seen it. I don't even have it on my like tracking thing anymore because the price action has not, it just has not caused a big pump. It just keeps going down and going down. Like it's doing the same thing that Saitama's doing. It's just not able to sustain where it was before. And it's my understanding that I'm now mine's in cold storage, by the way, and I only have like $500 left in Shinja. Um, and I don't even know if I get reflections or if the reflections are gone. Like I just hear what people say. It doesn't matter to me because it's not a whole lot, but like it's got to do something. And right now it's just not doing anything. Any thoughts on Phantom and Pixel? All right, Phantom I love as a concept because that's social media for crypto. It's specifically designed for crypto, and I think that is very, very cool. So I am deep on Phantom. Like I really think that that's going to be one of the next big things. And then Pixel, Pixel felt the same way to me on a different level. But if I go back to Pixel, we were looking at this last night, by the way. If you go to Pixel, then one of the use cases was accelerating the adoption. Here we go. Multi-chain compatibility through the ecosystem, developing a marketplace, point of sale system, DeFi protocol, secure off-chain information using chain links, oracles, and implementing blockchain technology on our platform. It sounds like they actually have use cases. And like those are the kind of things that you're definitely looking for. Problem for me is that it's on BNB, and I'm not a fan of trading on BNB. Doesn't really matter, but I would like to see it come over to the Ethereum side just so I can trade over here because I just feel more comfortable in this space. So good morning. Volt Inu is still, we're still up, man. Shinja is definitely losing momentum. Just don't know how people can stay in a token where the devs lie to investors. Well, that's the big thing for me. Like they're outright lying to people. So like I don't know how to reconcile that. I don't think that makes it a rug pull. I don't think that it makes it a scam token. It just they're lying because I don't think they're intending to lie. I think like in this situation, Russ is going to use the semantics of I never said that I was selling tokens, and he's going to have other wallets selling tokens, and he's trying to use the semantics of he's not profiting personally off of it. Do you know what I mean? Like I think that I think that they're just I think he's just one of those guys that uses wordplay. But listen, at the end of the day, here's what matters. Russ continues to tell people that he's rich and has been rich, and that the world is just like he's balling out, like absolutely incredibly balling out. And then at the end, his wife made a post on Facebook, and somebody who's a friend of his wife made a post on it. Like, and I did see it. Like, it's kind of crazy. I don't really care, but I did see it. And she was pointing out that she just bought, I think, an Escalade or something like that. And this goes back a couple months. That Russ had bought a Lambo and that she had bought an Escalade. And then the people that were there were like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you all finally made it and you finally have some money." Like, they just told you that until this point, until Russ made this money just recently, they were poor because nobody expected them to do anything in the family, not otherwise, but in their family, they didn't expect it. So that's kind of disconcerting. But by the same token, I don't care if they were poor. I care about where they are now, and where they are now is in a much better place. I do wonder where the money came from, but they're also entitled to their investment. So if they take all the money out and continue to do the job that they're doing, they did. Now, by the way, they did take a $7 billion project and turn it into a $300 million project, but they also took a $1 million project and turned it into a $7 billion project. So the whole scope of what they've done has to be considered and factored into this equation when we decide whether we like or don't like what Russ is doing or any of the development team. So, I mean, there is a lot to unpack in that thing. Russ is a conflicted forger and a liar. I don't know. I I don't know what the allegation of forgery is. I know that I know that there was a court case. I don't know what the outcome was. I think we'll get the momentum of trade back. Any news on when the AMA is? So for this one, crypto investing, I'm not sure when the AMA is. At first, I thought after I did the video and after they started doing stuff with the video, I thought, okay, this is great. They're going to do something, and that's going to be awesome. And then they said that it's going to be like a week, maybe two, before they do the AMA. So they're not doing an AMA to satisfy me or you as an investor. They're doing it because Terrapool's coming out, and they want to have an AMA on that. And they just used it to kind of shut people down. I don't like that. Like, the more I think about it, the more annoyed I get by it, because it looks like they're providing service to us, and they're not. Hey, man, thank you for the bomb. A CZK, I don't know what that is, but BMI, Batman Inu, big announcement today. Check it out. Happy Monday. I'll be looking for the announcement. Like I keep saying to you, like I'm not really into Batman. The problem with Batman is this: how much money has already been made and how much can be made, especially in this market, and especially when you're capitalizing on somebody else's IP and property. It can only get you so far. So we will see. Oh, yeah, you know what? I did get your email. I went through it, as a matter of fact, this morning. We can talk about it a little bit later. I'm selling my Saitama. Do what you got to do, man. Like protect yourself. Here's what you owe. You don't owe Saitama anything. You don't owe me anything. You owe yourself and your family everything. That's the way this plays out. That's the way this is. Hey, what's going on, Keith, man? What's there we go. Bitmark goes live today. So CoinViewCap is excited because they are on the first big exchange. WAGMI looks great, but they shouldn't be launching on SideMask. Every time Saitama touches something, it doesn't work out well. Well, you know what? Here's the thing about, and I'll be honest with this one. Like I actually like this idea. What Saitama does have is a lot of enthusiastic investors, and and I don't think WAGMI really cares too much about the drama that goes on with Saitama. I don't think that moves their needle. I think what they're worried about is, can we get new investors based on this? Because right now there's only about 2,000 investors in WAGMI, and I think there was BNB had 10 or 11. Like there were way more on BNB, but the point is they don't have a lot of investors, and this is going to get them, 5 or 10,000 new investors that were not there before. So I think that's going to be a great thing for them overall. What's going on, man? Sapes, King of the Apes. There you go. The safe apes are in the house. Wouldn't what Russ and his dev team doing be considered insider trading? If there were laws and regulations for insider trading in this field, then I would think maybe there could be some insider trading. But I think that when you're looking at insider trading is knowing and moving on stuff in order to make a profit. But like, I don't think that they're doing that. I think that they're they can move the liquidity over to Cider Realty. They can come out with this new token called the commission. They can do all these different things, and that's not insider trading. Insider trading would be having knowledge of a big event that's coming in the future and using the money that you have to invest more and earn more off of it, or to use that knowledge in order to sell and not get wrecked and stuff like that. I'm not sure that they're doing that. We haven't established that there's a pattern that kind of stuff is happening to begin with. They're liquidating because they can, and they're doing it mostly to fund. I think Max Equations wallet that was selling off, that continues to sell off, like he has to fund a business that's developing SideMask, and he has to pay all of those engineers that he has on staff. So, I think that he's, I don't think that there's a conspiracy here. I think that everybody wants to shit on and hate on Saitama, and I just don't think that most of the argument is valid. If you want to say they're inept, that's fair. If you want to say that they failed to launch things, that's fair. But if there's but going down this rabbit hole of this giant conspiracy where that takes more coordination than these people are even capable of. If they were capable of the level of coordination to pull off the conspiracies that everybody has, they would be capable of making SideMask work. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Yeah, SideMask has a ton of issues. but they also have a ton of investors. That's the point, Keith. Like, I think they have a lot of people who would be willing to invest in WAGMI. And dude, if you were on CoinView, if you had CoinViewCap on SideMask, you'd have 5,000 new investors or 10,000 new investors in just a short period of time, because they do have an enthusiastic crowd of people. I mean, maybe not today after this dip, but up until this point, they've had one. It's a literal Batman with a dog feature. Rebanded the logo. All right, that's awesome. WAGMI on sale this morning, waiting for it to go sideways for a bit, then add to position. Yeah, me too. I'm not sure what it's going to do. I think it's going to go down with the market. I'm not sure that the market bears it out. So, I mean, we'll see. I'm just not certain how it plays out. ETH on sale. I'm on sale. As a matter of fact, let's go look and let's see. Where are we at on Ethereum? Is it still pumping down? Oh, another big sell-off. So it's down 0.6 on the hour, 6.25%. So if you guys did what I said, if you took my advice and you did what I said, then we're all feeling pretty good right now, because we're all tethered and we're all sitting pretty. So I'm just waiting for that entry point. Probably going to go over and check out Hobbs today and see if he's got some analysis on Ethereum, and let me know what an entry point is. And I'll probably just play whatever it is that he says. I like that you keep things real, good or bad. It's rough time. Diamond hands are made. Yeah. And listen, by the way, when there's a thing that people get confused here. When you're diamond handing something, that does not mean that you can't take your profits and accumulate more. I mean, like, BMI got a great entry. Okay. If you're going, and I just want to look at, let's go pick a token, and let's take CVC since we had Keith in here. So CVC launched over here, and everybody who got into the pre-sale took profit. I took profit too. Like, we all took a little bit of profit. So here's the thing. The launch happened, then it went up here. Now, and I sold the top, by the way. So I sold the top, and I was in for like 1 ETH. So I ended up with 3 ETH and 1 ETH still in. Or no, 2 ETH. Yeah, 3 ETH and then 1 ETH still in. So then I held on and held on and held on and held on. And then I re-entered right about here. Now, I didn't think it was going to be, I did think it was going to go back up. I didn't think it was going to go down like it's going down right now. But I re-entered, and I accumulated more than I had in the beginning. So when it gets a nice pump going, hopefully from Bitmart, when it gets a nice pump going and it gets back up here to the all-time high, then I will be a bigger holder than I was before. So the ultimate thing for you to do if you're diamond handing something like this would be to sell the top and then let that cascade accumulate down here and then get in on the 16 again, because you will have almost 2 times as many tokens as you had in the beginning up here. And that will help you create a larger floor for this product in the long term. And I hope that makes sense to everybody. If you get it at 16 here and you go up to 2,700, like that's 1,100 points. Like, I don't think that's enough for you to actually make a profit because of the taxes in and out. But if you get back up here to an all-time high, then you see where it starts to slow down. And when it starts to slow down, that's when you do the same thing. You sell off, you just keep a little bit back, because you don't do all of it. You never do all your entire bag, because that's just nonsense. But you do like some of your bag, and then you take you take a ride down that dip again, try to play that dip to the bottom, and then you try to accumulate more. And if you're in a good position, then you might be able to double your position. When I first started with Terra, I was in for, at my best, 3 trillion. But when they made that announcement that Binance.us was coming, and I played the top of that, and I ended up accumulating a ton of new tokens that I didn't have before. So 60 yesterday, snowing today. Yep, the north is bullshit. People saying 2,500 ETH end of June. Yeah, but I don't know those people, and those people sound like they might be right. But I think we're going to have another run that's coming up here. BMI got a great entry. So what should be the entry for ETH? I'm not sure, Table Man, what the entry point for ETH is going to be. Like, I think it's most of the people that I hear say 2,800, but I'm not sure that like it could turn on a dime and just start pumping. So like I'm just waiting to see, and I'm gonna have somebody do some TA on it, or I'll do my own a little bit later today. And like you can go over to TradingView, by the way, and get yourself a longer look. And you can't do it on a 15-minute. Why the fuck am I on a 15-minute? Okay, so if I'm looking at it right now and it's down here below this, then the support line is at 3,000, 3,000, roughly around 3,000. Then there's more support at 29. There's a lot of support at 29. So the support line is right below 3,000, which makes sense because most people don't like, there's a lot of support right under 3,000 because trading right at 3,000 is a reason to sell off, because most people see an even number and then they want to sell for whatever reason, psychological or whatever the reason is. Then you come down here and you see the next level of support is not until about 2,500 with very minimal levels in the 28s. So there might be, if you can't hold support right here at 28, then it's going to bounce down to 26, which is very minimal. And your big channel of support is going to be right here in the 25, 26 range. So, and I'm not looking long, by the way. I'm looking kind of at a short range here. So there could be a long level of support at this. I would have to like really get out like day candles and start doing some serious looking. But yeah, like on a day chart, it looks like 2,600 is the best support, and then maybe a little bit at 29. So it just depends on which one you're looking at. And goddamn, look how far this thing has come. But we still see it going down. So we're still on our way down. So I would not be getting in like right now at this point. I would wait and see if it doesn't break 3,000. And then that might be a pretty good entry point. It could be the rumor. Saw the news from Bitcoin 2022. That is a possibility because it did the same thing last year. But the question is, what's going to be the impetus to cause it to move back up? Max needs to fire his team. I know a few 17-year-olds that can make a stable app. You know what? I know I kind of agree with you, but at the same token, I don't know what goes into making something like SideMask work and function. So I'm not sure if he's good at it or bad at it. I just know that he hasn't delivered yet. And by this point, he should have delivered something. And I don't think that what he's done. Do you think Diamond Hands is a psyop by the whales to make retail hold the line while institutions move money around the market? Absolutely. That's 100% what it is. And it's not really from the whales. It's from the developers, because what the developers need on a token is they need you to hold on to it, because if you hold on to it, then that creates a bigger floor. So there's a group of people that, and here's the thing, when you get in on a token and you get in early, you should always kind of be a holder, because you've got an opportunity to change your life right there. But you should always get your initial investment out as quickly as you possibly can, as reasonably as you possibly can, and then take some profit if you can along the way. Like, your best play would be to get in early and then wait a couple days. Hopefully you get a little bit of a bump, and you're then able to take out, and maybe you like get a 3 to a 5 to a 6x, and then you're able to take out your original investment, like say 1 ETH and then another ETH, so that you've got some profit off of it, so that you've actually made yourself some money, and then you've got another 2 or 3 ETH that's sitting in it, and that becomes like your moon bag. Or you can take 3 ETH, you can take a little bit more out, and you keep some in, because when it starts to move and it makes that big move, then all you get is profit from that point. So like that's the optimal strategy, because then you don't care about the money, and that's what makes you diamond handed, is having the profit and being able to do something like that. Saitama ruined CVC. I feel bad for Keith. Don't feel bad for Keith, man. Keith's got Bitmark coming. He's gonna be just fine. And yeah, they were a little bit of a cunt for doing that, but I mean, that's who they are. That's what they do. I mean, do we expect do we expect dignity and self-respect from Saitama at this point after they've shown, not everybody, by the way, but the Wolfpack people, that since they've shown their true colors and what kind of stuff they will stoop to try to screw other people over? Since we know that's the case, like, I mean, what do you expect from them? I expect it from them every single time. Where the hell is Realist? I'm not sure, man. He was feeling under the weather. Hope CVC and BMI start having a good run up this week. So do I. I think I hope everybody has one. Good morning, Shaka. I guess a new Lambo, fully loaded Tahoe, and a new house from the ground. Well, you know what? I won't say that it's more important, but I mean, again, like, are you not allowed to profit and live your life until everybody else gets out? Like, am I supposed to, if I start a business and crypto and I start a token, that's my business. Am I not allowed to make money off my business? Like, that's nonsense. He came in, he's doing this basically for free. And so he says all he has is a bunch of tokens. Is he not allowed at some point to sell off some of his tokens and make a little bit of money so that he can pay for stuff? And if he's got a private bag and he's got a public bag, that's okay too. Like, you know, all of these things are okay. Like, you're allowed to do it. Mandox, I got a Cyborgs. This is going to be interesting and unpredictable year. Yeah, nobody knows what's going to happen. Terra, just hold on and be faithful to Terra. It'll move back up pretty soon. It's just one of those things. Like, right now, the whole market is testing support. So we're going to see what happens. Smash that like button. Saitama is dumping hard. Is it still going down? We were talking about it a little bit earlier, and it was looking like fresh buttered trash. And yeah, it's still about where it was before. It's actually up compared to where we were a few minutes ago, Red Sox. CVC will pump this week. Keith just needs to market the project and do more AMAs. Well, he's got work to do. He's got shit that he's got to do behind the scenes. He doesn't have like he doesn't have a whole lot of marketing going on with him. So, he'll get to it, and he'll do it for you guys. BTFA, yes. BTFA is still up. It's at 1459, still continuing to moon. Now, of course, it's still not at the all-time high, which was 1773 about 3 hours ago. A lot of people took a lot of profit at that point. Now, remember, by the way, if you are in BTFA, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is not financial advice, but if I were going to do it, and I've only got like $1,000 in BTFA, so I'm not really worried about it. But if I were into it, then I'm looking right here at this 2000. When I start touching this right here, that's when everybody is going to sell off and they're going to take their profit because it's 2000. So if I were you and I'm watching me right now, then I would be selling off at 1920, 1930, 1950, taking some deep breaths and then just waiting for the dip, because that dip is going to come back down. Remember, this right here, see this move right here, this is a parabolic move. And this sort of parabolic move, when it continues to go up like that, is going to lead to a crash. And that crash is going to come back down, and it's going to come around this 1100 support line. So there's still some opportunity. So get it up here, get your money out. Don't take all of it out. Take a good portion of it out and wait for the dip, because there will be a dip for you to come back in and play, and you'll have an opportunity to accumulate some more. But, that's just how you do. What's up, Sub-Zero? Luna 1. I still don't know anything about Luna 1, man. I couldn't find it easily one day, so CPI data comes out tomorrow. Everything will drop over the next few days. I don't know what the CPI numbers are projecting to be. What we know, inflation expectations, bank earnings. Here we go. Axios says a new inflation reading is due out Tuesday morning, and it looks to be a doozy. The consumer price index for March will reflect the surge in energy prices tied to the war in Ukraine, which is likely to push the headline number to yet another multi-decade high. So keep your shit stable for right now. And I would not be making any crazy moves right now. How do I feel about Cult? I don't really feel about Cult anyway. I think that it had a good run. It's got some, I think it got some VC funding for like 173 million. So it's going to it's got some build out that it's got to do. But as you can see right here, the price action does not reflect. All it does is remember here again. This is what I said to you just a few seconds ago. This thing was a dead stick trading over here, and then it had this gigantic, and I mean, you start to do the numbers here. This is a gigantic and parabolic run that it had. It went up. I mean, what is this? 20x or 30x? It could have been 100x for all I know. But then it has to crash back down because it doesn't have support. Even though if you look at it right here, and you see right here that it's kind of in this little support channel at 3,000. This is your support line. The line that you have for support is right here. Like that's literally how far this thing is going to fall by the time it's all said and done. Like this is your bounce point. So like it's going to have some growing to do, and it may not even last through that support line. It depends on how good these guys are at doing something about it. But the next line after that is 4,600. So crypto is crypto. Like it does what it does. So you just got to be very careful with it. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Crow is down a little today. If anyone is interested, yeah, everything's going to eat it for just a little while. Mandocs change contract address. Did you have any idea what we can do? I have no idea what they did. Like if go to Cryptobolics. Cryptobolics is really in tune with them, and follow him on Twitter. I think he actually even has an explanation. It's Crypto CRY. I'm going to type it in here. Cryptobolics. Cryptobolics seems to know everything that's going on with Mandocs, so I would get with him and see what he has to say about it, because I think his opinion on that is very important. What's going on, DNA? All right, guys, my work is about to start here in a few minutes, so we're going to be on the wrap-up phase of this. I want y'all to be careful today. Just don't get wrecked. Like this is that moment right now where this market will destroy you, and I don't want anybody to lose any money. I want everybody to be successful. The whole purpose of this, the reason I'm doing this is because like I hope that some way I'm the voice of reason for you guys to not go crazy and not screw up your money. If you have money right now, if it's not in a product that you think is about to go absolutely crazy, take it out and put it into stable right now. Tether it, because if you're right, the market continues to go down and you're stabling right here and it comes down here, all the products come down here with it. If that's the case, then you're still going to be able to buy back in down here. And then when it goes back up, you will have accumulated more and you will be richer overall because you did that. I mean, that's kind of the way this thing works at its best. So if you can make that kind of play, make that kind of play. But if you think like in Banana Task Force 8, like if BTFA, you see it mooning right now and you think it's going to keep going, let it keep going and keep your bag in. Like don't take your bag out. But if you got something that's dipping, then cut your loss, stable it, because if it's losing and it's continuing to lose, then guess what? It's going to continue to lose. If there's no catalyst that you know of that's coming, go ahead and stable that. Put it into your holdings in USDT or USDC, whatever you choose. Put it into that, and then wait for a dip, and then go back in and put the money back in after the market has dipped down, because you're going to have way more than when you started. That's what I'm doing right now, and that's what I'm going to continue doing, because it only makes sense to me. And I've never been able to do that before, by the way. I've only been able to do that maybe in the last month. It's only been worth it for me for that last month. Last question here. Hey, Bleeves, do you know when the Phantom pre-sale starts? Yes. So actually, let me say no. I don't know, but I think that the plan is whitelist is going to be Friday, and then the pre-sale is going to be on Saturday or maybe Sunday. I might have my days off. It might be that the whitelist is on Saturday and the pre-sale is on Sunday, but it's coming in the next week or so because they're planning on launching by the end of the month. At least that's what I heard. That was the initial goal. So it's going to be coming, and Pixel is coming next month, and Pixel is going to be another big play. They're another big play that's coming out with a use case designed to help us as a community right away. So it's a pretty good thing. But guys, Volt Inu, remember that one. Shiba, I still owe you guys another video. I'm gonna do one at some point very soon. I was gonna try to do it this morning, but I was getting so rushed that I couldn't. I'm gonna have, I think, an AMA with Safe Ape coming up this week. If anybody else is looking for an AMA, just hit me up, send me something on Twitter or something like that. But guys, it's not financial advice. Take your profits on the way up. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. And remember the most important thing, I'm Bleeves, and I'm always right.